I think it's a 3-year window that we in right now.
With AD?
Yeah, I think this is a 3-year window. Absolutely.
And
here's why.
3 healthy AD years, you got to get lucky.
Now, I think that health logic, I think that's over. Because
Luka
that
hurt.
stuff happens.
Luka hurt.
I about to say, I think Luka
and not only is that narrative kind of old. I mean, Anthony Davis has played the majority of this season. Last year, he was in the top 10 in the league in minutes. He never had that soft tag.
76 games last year.
He never had that soft tag until he got here to the Lakers. He was playing regularly. I think 5 of the 6 years that he played in New Orleans, he averaged almost 70 games. Did not have that soft tag. Now he's back to playing heavy minutes. They're looking at this. It's a 3-year window. I'm not paying Luka $345 million because a lot of y'all, what y'all looking at, J.O., you in particular, you looking at right now. Let's make sure we clear on what this. Let's make sure we clear on what this is, J.O. So just so you know, Luka got 2 more years left on his current deal, which means that if he signs that extension, that don't happen to the 26-27 season. The problems that we got with Luka right now, these problems going to get amplified. What does Luka look like at 31, 32 years old, $70 million on the books? And we already got these problems with him right now. That's what this dude is. That's what Nico Harrison is looking at. He ain't looking at today. He's not looking at next year. He's looking 5 years down the line. What is this going to look like?
He said 3 to 4 years. And 10 years from now, they're not. Anthony Davis, 5 years from now, is going to be 36 years old. So he's not even looking that far.
And that's my point. I think that it's 3 years. I'm talking about Luka. I think he is looking at Luka 5 years from now and what this contract is going to look like. That's why he looked at this team like this is probably all we're going to get. Usually when teams move on from guys, even though we've never seen a trade like this where superstars get traded for other superstars. More times than not, when a superstar gets traded, it's for somebody that's less than. We don't really see 2 top 10 guys get moved at the same time for each other. That doesn't really happen. But I think Nico Harrison, I think he looked at this Luka situation like, I probably got everything that I'm going to get out of him. 5 years from now, what is Luka going to look like with $70 million on the books?
So why is Pelinka willing to take that on? Why is Pelinka?
And I'm glad you brought that up. The reason why Pelinka is willing to take that on, because Pelinka is the dude who I can fix this chick.
It's LA.
I know what you looking at. I can fix this chick. I see what it is. And I can
so
fix
he's bringing her out to BBL later.
I see what
you
you're looking at. I can fix this.
Superstar.
I know what you're looking at, and I know how she was. I know how she was with you. I can fix this though, and I could get back what all of that stuff was. And I'm going to tell you right now too, what this is going to look like. It's going to be the same thing that will happen. Remember with the Lakers when they moved off of Shaq? Yo, y'all made a mistake. Shaq comes to Miami. He's in ridiculous shape.
How old is Shaq?
They end up 32 years old. Something like that. We still had the same issue though. We still had the same problem. Health, the way he took care of himself, that was an issue. Shaq comes to Miami. He gets himself in great shape. He's in the MVP conversation, and they win the NBA championship. So for the panel, can y'all tell me what happened the year after they won the championship? Chicago mopped them out the playoffs in 4 games.
You talking about the Heat? Okay, yeah.
Chicago mopped them out the playoffs in 4 games. This is gonna look good early. Now, Rob Pelinka, he got some work. He got some work to do because he got to fix this dude.
Yep.
He's got to fix this dude because this is a reoccurring problem.
Is Rob expecting LeBron to fix him?
If you win the championship, I win the championship 06. We don't win it in 07. We did this thing in the championship. We're not gonna keep repeating and three-peating and all that. We got the ring. That's what we're here for.
So that's it.
Like,
so
I mean, that's not it. We want to keep being competitive, but shit, we got a ring though. 06,
so that's it then.
Miami is a success story.
Okay, Miami being a success story. So with that being said, so if Luka in Los Angeles, and because I think LeBron James, I think this is a year and a half window because I think he's gone in the next 2 years. I think he's out. So within the next 2 years, if they win the NBA championship, we good?
Yes.
Who's out?
I think James within the next 2 years, I think James is gone.
You retired or he gonna want out of LA?
No, I think he's retiring. I don't think he's playing for anybody else. So if they win it within the next 2 years, so mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And then after that,
and they'll still have Luka on the team. I mean, I'm assuming that Luka will still be there. But if they win this year or next year, this was a successful trade for the Lakers. Hell yeah, this what it's about. It's about the rings. The Lakers are the best franchise in basketball history for a reason because they're going to get that ring. That's what they're doing it for.
And if Dallas wins it within the next 2 to 3 years, like that's what the window is. So it's a success for them too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that's what it's
All
about.
right.
Yeah, they're trying to get a ring.
Yeah, I think the expectation is Braun is supposed to be like the mentor for Luka and get him on the right track. Is that what Pelinka's expecting?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think Luka listening to nobody. I think, and that's why I'm happy the Mavericks are one of them franchises that's not going to be held hostage by these
Like the Pelicans.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that was dumb. I said that before they even gave him the money. Why would you give Zion all that damn money?
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
Make no damn sense.
Now Luka done played some basketball, and Luka took his team to the Western Conference Finals, the Finals, all that. So it's a different story than Zion. Zion shouldn't. I wouldn't have gave Zion that money. Luka Doncic is a little different. He's proven that he can rock, but still, it's like if it's not a good fit, it's just not a good fit, no matter how good you are. So I hate the fact that people think franchises have to let these superstar players hold them hostage. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible business.
Swiper, I think you stuck on the fact that he's 25 years old and how good he is right now. I think you stuck on that, which I don't have a problem with that because, again, we do have a top 5 player in the league right now. We got a top 5 player in the world. We got a guy that's a fantastic talent. I think Nico is looking at this years from now going,
they still got one, Chill. They still got that guy, Anthony Davis.
He's taking a
They
gamble.
do.
Is he
100%. And that's what they pay him the big bucks for, Jay. That's what they did. As a GM, it's your job to see the
way
future.
he did it.
What is this going to look like
Facts.
5 years from now?
Though, he's sticking his neck all the way on the line. Like he's putting his neck all the way on the line behind this trade. And if Luka does not do what he thinks he's going to do, if Luka gets better with his health, it's going to look bad. If Luka gets with LeBron and he gets right.
So how are we going to know about this then? So if that's the case, then how are we going to know? Like, when can we judge this? Because over the next 2 years, if this works,
we're so far off of like in the point of what took place.
I want the patience to run the assignment.
And I'm first off, I never use that language about athletes, so it's never gonna happen for me. I think this whole idea with Anthony Davis, I think he's also a very good player. Like I also think that Dallas is going to benefit from this. I think they are going to have the best. I think they're going to have an even better defensive front court than the Thunder with Hart and Chet, like with AD and Lively, if Lively should come back in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what this is about at all. Like what this is actually, the issue is they traded a 25-year-old, like not even in his prime, superstar in a 1-for-1 swap where they got back Max Christie and Anthony Davis, both of whom
they got a first-round pick.
One first-round pick
29.
that means almost nothing, and then on top of that, because Luka's going to be on that team, and they're probably not going to be all that bad. That's the first thing, and then the second thing about this, it's Anthony Davis. As good as he is, is still 31 and currently a lesser version of a player than Luka Doncic is. So this, again, the reason why this is such a big deal is like if they would have opened up this actual conversation, Nico, for the rest of the league to get true asset evaluation from Luka Doncic, they would have walked out of here a different team with assets to build into the future, similar to what the Thunder have. Maybe not like as many picks, obviously, but in terms of the war chest they could have got, they could have called the Houston Rockets, and I guarantee you, Amin Thompson would have been on the table 110%. They could have called the
Amin Thompson over
got everything else for him. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't get lost in just the narrow vision. This is not about like This is the issue. This is not about just getting one player. Amin Thompson, the reason why that's such a big deal, the dude is what, 21? He just turned 21, him and his brother.
Why y'all so fixated and fascinated on getting
fact
younger?
that you're building, because so now we're going to open up to the whole other side.
That's what this is
One of
all
the
about.
other speculations why they made this trade. One of the other speculations is completely tied to ownership and the naming rights to have a gambling site in Texas and wanting to be bad later on in the 2020. That's a whole nother issue, because people got to remember, Mark Cuban doesn't own this team. The owners that are currently in place have land right agendas that they are trying to build into Texas. And so some of this is people are speculating, well, the reason you don't want any assets to build into the future because you don't actually want to be good in the future in the first place. But I'm not even going to go there. That's a whole other avenue of this. I'm just talking strictly from a basketball standpoint. Ox, if your point is you want to get better and you want to build into the future, prototypically for a player this young, you would want to have assets that you can actually carry you into the future beyond 3 to 4 years, because this kind of player you have in your franchise, the next 10 years for Luka, can we at least agree on this? He would have been arguably first-team All-NBA in every one of those years, at least a first-team All-NBA.
Are we sure? Because I'm not going to be first-team All-NBA this year. So no,
I'm not talking about first-team
Obviously, we're assuming health.
I'm not talking about All-NBAs. I'm talking about they can win in the next 2 seasons. I don't care about 10 years down the road.
The championship.
They can if they can win in this season, next season, or the season after that. I don't care about 10 years from now. They still once Anthony Davis is gone, they still got Derek. They still got Derek Lively. You know what I'm saying? I don't see why y'all act like Anthony Davis.
Would you?
I don't know. Who do you see Anthony Davis as?
I continually say I think Anthony Davis is a top 8 player, but he also has one of the low among all the people that you would compare him to. He also has one of the lower offensive ceilings, especially in the fourth quarter, and as a bucket getter when Luka thrives and other players thrive. AD is
like Kyrie Irving.
So, yeah, but Kyrie also he had two bad horrific series in the playoff last year, respectfully, 2 of them, and he was fully healthy.
Is there any trade that would have looked good from the aspect of you traded 25-year-old Luka? Is there anybody that you would have wanted to see come in rather than Anthony Davis that you would have feel you got better?
Yeah, I mean, it's more about
the Bucks laughed at him. So
that's what I'm saying.
The Bucks, as they should have. You think you're getting Giannis for Luka?
What ended up happening with Nico? The reason why he was hush about this, because this is exactly who he wanted. If it wasn't who he wanted, then he would have opened up trades. This was exactly who he wanted. And this is how he wanted to make this thing happen. Otherwise, he would have put the word out a month ago. Yo, Luka's available. That's why he kept this quiet, because he wanted Anthony Davis, this 3-year window. Because don't forget, Irv come off the books after this year. So we got to re-up Irv. So Irv is not like a guy who's on the books for 3 or 4 more years. No, we got to re-up him too. And on top of that, Anthony Davis gets to move to the 4, $174 million, which is half of the 354 that I had to pay Luka. So I'm getting 3 years. I got a 3-year window with both Irv, Anthony Davis, a young Derek Lively, and I'm building around this. I got a 3-year window.
Don't forget about Gafford.
Well, Gafford is a stopgap because Lively's going to be the guy.
Well, Kyrie Irving has a player option this summer, by the way.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He comes off the books after this year. I think he's gonna exercise it. I think he's looking to get an extension. He's been, for all intents purposes, he's been the model citizen, and he's been really good for them. So he's definitely looking for an extension. But the point I'm making is within this 3-year window, you got a big guy in Lively who's going to start at the 5. Anthony Davis has been begging to move to the 4. He gets to move back to the 4. $174 million over the next 3 years. That's half of what I was paying Luka. I'm building my front line. I got Gafford as a stopgap until Lively becomes
what benefit do you think the Mavs actually had? This is my question I've been trying to get in on, and I would love for Ox or everyone else to answer here. Why does it benefit the Mavericks to simply only negotiate with Anthony Davis as opposed to opening a conversation up for Luka Doncic with the rest of the league? Because, by the way, there were executives that have responded to Windhorst and others that said, if we would have known that Luka was on the table, we would have emptied our coffins for him. 100%.
Swiper, because they got what they wanted. Swiper, because I don't think they wanted to shop him around, because I think they had a couple players that they were like, if we trade Luka Doncic, these are the select players that we want. We don't want Amin Thompson and Cam Whitmore and 4 first-round picks, and we're not rebuilding. We're trying to win. So I think that's why they didn't go and ask the Brooklyn Nets, let me get 6 of your best players and 20 first-round picks, because they wanted Anthony Davis or Giannis. You know what I'm saying? And they got Anthony Davis. I think that's why. My thing is, we spoke about this multiple times on the panel. When I go to work and I get my check and I get what I work for and I know what I came here for, I know what I wanted. I'm not looking at that next man's bank account like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. No, you if you know what you want, go get that. Buy the car that you want and stop going around all these damn dealerships test driving shit. You know what you want, get that.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think Anthony Davis is better than Luka?
Yes, that's not the point.
No, I just want to ask him.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Cool.
I think that to answer your question, Swipe, and I know we got to move on, Ron. To answer your question, when you know exactly what you want, when you bring in other teams, I'm sure that the Dallas Mavericks did their homework. I'm sure that they looked at the landscape of the league. I'm sure that they didn't just call up the Lakers and go,
They only called up the Lakers. Yes, that's confirmed.
Here's the difference. The reason why they only called up the Lakers, because they did their homework throughout the rest of the league. This is the guy we want. They didn't involve anybody else because they knew after doing all of their homework, this is the guy we want. He's been talking.
So they took a worse player and chill. But even with that, they took a worse player with a larger injury history than Luka Doncic and an older player, worse player, more injury issues.
With a larger injury issue, and now we got a 25-year-old who has an injury, who's been injured, and on top of that, he's gonna get older. With him getting older, I got to
who's already substantially better than Anthony Davis.
I'm not going to say. I think he's better than Anthony Davis. I won't argue that. I will not argue that. I do think he's better than Anthony Davis. However, I think Nico is looking at the future. That's what I think he's looking at. That's why he moved off of Luka, and I think he got everything that he was looking for.